First, I have my script, but there is a lot of fucked up shit happening in the world. Some might say fascist stuff happening. I just want it to be known, fuck ICE, stay educated, don't let them pull the cover over your eyes, because they will try to do it time and time again. And if we show them that we will not let them do that, eventually they will learn that we have the power over them. So yeah, just before the video gets started, fuck ICE, free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo, free Tigray. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Doja Cat once said, "I'm on the walls of genius. I am the whiz, the teacher, skinny legend like Wiz Khalifa." And that's what I'm here to do today. This is the first video of my wordsmithing series where I'm going to take some of my favorite EPs, LPs, and maybe some poetry and maybe some literature, because nobody is the boss of me.
So I'm a boss.
And I'm going to analyze them. I went to school for advertising, and if I were to sell my soul to capitalism, I probably would have become a copywriter because I love words a lot. Trixie Mattel has actually said language is the LAN cable that connects our brains. And, you know, she really is a wordsmith. She's right, though, because, you know, words take on meaning. They change as we age. We experience new things in our lives, and the connotations of words change. That's why music can speak volumes with such little language. It's beautiful to me, and I hope you find it beautiful as well. Today I'm analyzing Devon Again's EP in order, but just like literary analysis, we have to understand where she exists in the context of reality. So let's take a look at her Spotify bio. It just says P. Okay, well, let's take a look at her Instagram bio. Let's see. In order, the EP out now. Okay, so I think there's some research to be done. Devon Again is a queer pop artist in her 20s. She is from Colorado. She's white. She's lanky. She's kind of that stereotypical, you know, blue-haired liberal that the right-wing media wants you to believe she is. And, you know, somebody's got to be the poster boy. So, shouts out to you, Devon. She's no stranger to yearning. We'll talk about that later, but her music is usually really fun. In Order came 6 months after her release of People vs. Marianne Sue, which is told through the perspective of this really egotistical man who testifies against his ex-lover, Marianne Sue, who was two-timing with, I guess, his nemesis, but his name is John Deere. It's deliciously malicious, and it has plenty of sing-along sections. The music video is very tight. The storyline actually makes it feel like a movie. She just really pays attention to the little details in her music, and it totally pays off. I'll leave that music video in the description below. Devon, like so many upcoming artists, obviously got her start on TikTok with the trailer for her previous EP titled P-E-E. But her second song on this EP, called Cherry Cola, got some traction as well, and she says it's one of the songs that changed her life. So we'll get into that, but I feel like that's enough information for us to go off of. So let's get started. You have no idea. So it's really hard to start an EP perfectly, right? Music is so subjective. But for me, Devon does a pretty good job because the first lyrics that you hear are, "I've got a mouthful of Skittles in the passenger seat." Paints a really good picture, and I mean, it's a double entendre, but yeah. Oh. Anyways, she's literally tasting the rainbow through these Skittles, but since she's queer, she's talking about, being a little gay. She's gorging herself on these sweets, and she's having such a good time with whoever's driving her around. Next, she says she's been feeling little since they started their trip from Tennessee, implying that this relationship is making her feel young again. Kind of like this is what being in love for the first time feels like. It actually reminds me of Katy Perry's Teenage Dream. They both tap into the sentiment of being young, obviously. And I used to work at a fast food restaurant that will go unnamed, but we were allowed to listen to music while we were bagging the food. And one time Teenage Dream came on and my manager was like, "This is so creepy, this is so creepy." And I said, "Girl, you've never been in love before then." But both these songs tap into this sense of innocence and abandon you only feel in your youth, right? Once you age, things get a lot more complicated. You gotta pay bills, you gotta pay taxes. Life just gets convoluted. You have to have a job. Sorry to say the J word in your presence. I know it's a scary word, but you gotta have one. But if Interstellar taught me anything, love is one of the only things that can pass through the fourth dimension. So I think Devon is tapping into this kind of abstract idea while also grounding us in this moment of the car. It's just so smart and relatable. Devon starts to ask the driver, what's going on in your life? How's your sister? Just making small talk. But the driver starts whispering, so Devon obviously turns the music down, and the driver says, "I don't want to talk too much." Kind of speaking to their insecurity. Ooh, it's like making a whole character out of this person. It's really good. Maybe this person, got scolded by their partners in the past for revealing too much about themselves, kind of creating an insecurity in them that they have to change, conform to be with their partner, just be in their presence. But Devon wants to make it very clear how much she cares about this person. "You have no idea how bad I want to hear, how bad I want to be near ya, what I'd give to feel you take your hands off the wheel. My God, I want to be near ya." Closeness, that's what she's looking for. She wants to crawl inside this person's skin, kind of become her, and make her home. It's the early stages of love. It's just beautiful. It's naive. She wants her partner to let go of the wheel. Let's let things get out of control. But there's danger in these words too, Subconsciously, I think Devon understands a relationship. It's alive, but it's very, very much like a car. You got to do maintenance. You can't be driving the whole time. You're going to have to switch. You're going to get tired, but you're in this for the long haul. You got to make sure each other are staying safe. You got to make sure each other are alive in this relationship. It takes work, basically, is what she's saying. And she knows this. It's just so smart. In the second verse, we pick up in Dallas, Texas mention, and sure enough, something has gone wrong. The engine has shit itself, but Devon doesn't care. She's been laughing so loud in the face of adversity. She has her rose-tinted glasses on. They're almost like sewn into her skull, kind of. Nothing could go wrong. So what if we're stranded? We have each other. That's all I need right now. It's so sweet. She finds sustenance in her partner, kind of light up telling her stories of her New York roommates. She says, "How could you worry that you'll bore me when I'm begging you for more?" She wants to know everything, experience everything with this person. She just loves them so deeply. Devon shoots into the chorus again, this time with harmonies that stack, suspend, and then resolve. It kind of feels like her love is washing over you. Like her love is so powerful that it's traveling through time again to reach you. And right when you think you know what's gonna happen next, all the instrumentation is gone. Where are the harmonies? Where's the instrumentation? And then she uppercuts you with the bridge. Electric guitar and drums flood in as you hear her saying, "Knowing you is dirt and mud." It's so natural to her, and she loves playing in it as if she's like a kid again, ready to get messy. And all these things exist in abundance, but she's happy she's found it right in front of her. She's so overwhelmed by this love, she kind of forgets to be descriptive. She says, this love is rocks and trees and birds and stuff. Like it doesn't matter if it makes sense to us. It only has to make sense to Devon. She says it's hot concrete, kind of like a burning hot foundation. It's bright red cheeks. It embarrasses her. It makes her bashful. This love is cold water to ease her sunburn up. This love has no rules. It can be hot and cold at the same time. This idea of sunburn will be back in the third song of the EP, but I'll say this love is the remedy to Devon's pain of her past relationship, kind of like an icy hot for her brain. But be careful, Devon. That can't be found in a person. It has to come from inside you. I kind of want to protect her because I feel like eventually she's going to realize this. But now Devon is swimming in it, the ocean of this love. She's ready to open herself up again, to drown in this ecstasy. She's ready for the heavy tide, come what may, and she's hoping the good will ultimately outweigh the bad. She ends by singing like summer when you start to speak up, cover me, cover me. It sounds like Devon wants to lose herself a little bit, like her life has been missing a piece and this person fulfills this purpose perfectly. And then the electric guitar takes over, but then it disappears for the outro. Spent by her enthusiasm, Devon says, you have no idea. No matter what she says, her love cannot be translated properly. It's a language only she will ever understand. C12H22O11. That is the molecular composition of a molecule of sugar. Coca-Cola actually uses cane sugar for all of their products, and the amount of times that I had to tell people at my fast food job that we don't have cherry Coke was pretty egregious. You would get it about 7 or 8 times a day, maybe at least 10 if you're working an 8-hour shift. So I know firsthand how addictive this stuff is. Sugar, like most things, is harmless in moderation. But Devon, she cannot get enough. She starts her TikTok famous song by saying, $600 to fix my car. The one that shit itself earlier. But, it was worth every penny. To get to her lover, she'd cross land and sea. Her lover might just be somebody's daughter on bass guitar, but, she provides a strong foundation for Devon. She says, nobody chokes me up the way you do. She makes her laugh. She makes her so joyful. She is her everything. In the pre-chorus, we see just how addicted Devon is to her love. She says, loving you is just like sipping on straight syrup. Like she is loving the source of wherever love in the world comes from. This love gets on her clothes, it spills and gets sticky in the car, it's in her hair, it's all over her. And she says, cover me in candy. She must be talking about the Skittles. They are lesbian, after all. I'm so lucky that I get to know you. This love makes her humble. She's grateful for this person and she bows in their presence. This song is so joyous, but you can see glimpses of unhealthy ideology poking through. I get fucking sick without you, dirty, dizzy, doubled over. She's kind of reliant on this person. And of course, this could be a metaphor, but it's literally making her sick. She says, I can't sleep, can you come over? Which is sweet, I want to be with you all the time. That's cutie. But if you can't perform your basic function of sleep without this person, there's something going on. It just seems a little exhausting to me. She ends by singing, God, I miss my cherry cola, and then the beat drops for the chorus where she just keeps saying, I miss my cherry cola. Kind of like we're in an echo chamber of addiction to this person. It's very smart what Devon does with the production. In the second verse, Devon considers wasting the $600 she spent on her plane ticket. She's willing to shirk her responsibilities just to be with this person, which is cute, but girl, don't you have a job? Should we stay in Dallas another night? Texas mentioned. Devon wants to pour her lover in her cup and put her in her bag for later, but she has to remember this person is their own entity. They have their own stuff to do, their own responsibilities. She doesn't just sit around waiting for Devon to drink her again. She has her own hang-ups. Even if one taste is all it takes to wake you up, you need to find something else that's going to sustain you. Otherwise, you're going to be visiting the dentist with gingivitis. And nobody likes gingivitis. Devon even acknowledges this. She says, killer kind of chemical and I can't get enough. It's funny because love is literally oxytocin being released in your brain, that chemical, and she knows this high won't last, but her brain dilutes her. I know it's forever. I can feel it in my blood. Her sugar rush has taken over her life and set her on this track of a honeymoon mindset, a forever honeymoon mindset. And of course, she says, I know you feel it too. What a lovely delusion you have, Devon. That's so sweet. After another chorus, Devon floats in the stratosphere with falsetto ad-libs and her final declarations that she misses her, but she doesn't get to say cherry cola. Her vocals abruptly cut off, and the only thing we're left with is a simple, kind of twinkling piano riff. I guess she was bound to crash sooner or later. Kind of like her car. Maybe it was an omen. Loving you is harder. As the piano turns into arpeggiating synth pads, Devon comes back in, somber now, but oscillating towards the bright side of this love that's left her. I still can't think straight. At least it's summer. You know, she's trying to look on the bright side of things. She wanted a clean slate, but instead she got a sunburn. A sunburn is the perfect metaphor for this love gone sour. Sure, your skin will peel, it'll heal, but this damage will always be with you. And what's the color of love again?
Right.
She says, it's quite an eyesore to see who's underneath me, but that's what I asked for. It's unclear who broke whose heart. She could be the heartbreaker, accepting this pain she's caused herself, or she could be the receiver, the victim, blindsided, but ultimately disappointed. She was so distracted by her love and her lover, who we can represent as the sun, she forgot to put on her sunscreen to protect herself. She put them at the center of her universe only to get burned in the end. I guess that's what happens when you try to handle a star. We have another double entendre here too. She may have new people that are underneath her, but they don't even compare to the love that she just had. Maybe when she looks at them, she just sees her lover, her son, again, and it's not good to look at the sun without any eye protection. I do want to address the rumors in the room. You know, I'm in a muumuu now. And sweatpants. The rumors are true. I'm sorry. Actually, it's a triple entendre because she's peeling off her skin and not liking who she is now that this lover is gone. geez, she can just write crazy style. Loving you is harder when we haven't talked in months. This is true. Notoriously, time heals everything, but everyone knows distance makes the heart grow fonder as well. Loving you is hard because I'm never gonna stop. No matter what she does, no matter how much aloe she bathes in, the sun damage has been done. It's gonna haunt her forever. It never goes away. I miss you like hot rain. What is hot rain anyway? You know, it could be rain on like a warm day. Rare. It probably kisses your sin instead of cursing it with cold, reminding you of all the bad in your life. Devon probably has more days like that of crushing cold rain, bringing back all those pesky memories. But she says, like red dirt, like a river. Two very natural things she can find in the world if she's willing to look. She must mean that missing her lover is just in her nature. Like how she misses the current, lulling her back and forth. How the red dirt is unique to certain regions. Under the right chemical circumstances, things just aren't right now. I miss you like sweet tea, which you can buy from the store. Not really a good way to look at love, but maybe she means sweet tea you make in the sun. It takes time and labor and a sort of natural, milder sweetness in contrast to the chemicals she's consumed throughout the duration of this relationship. She misses her lover every day because she can feel them touch her skin with the sting of the sun, reminding her she's still alive, of what once was. It is promised with the setting of the moon. She misses her lover like tangerine, something natural and sweet. It's smaller, but it packs a bigger punch. Its vivid color almost unnatural, like a marvel. Like her lover was a miracle in the palm of her hands. Something to savor, but always gone too soon. And then the chorus, pure devastation. You've left me with a gift. She has a certain gratitude for this lover and what she's brought to her life. She is a talisman, a time capsule of how joyous her life was. Other people may call it a curse, but she's the only one to have experienced this love. They can say what they want, but it's hers to remember alone. This love is naturally sweet, but it has the capacity to become a nuisance, getting stuck in her hair, on furniture, on the car seat, no doubt staining whatever it comes in contact with. It's always changing shape. She can't grasp it or put it away. Like water, it's able to fit in any container, even one that tries to keep it out. This love is a sickness, and germs cover everything, waiting to infect her over and over. It's the same one she felt in Cherry Cola, disorienting her, making her dizzy every time she's reminded. And germs are invisible to the naked eye, yes, but they thrive in legion. They bide their time, unseen, but growing inside you. It seems Devon was left in the dark about why her lover left, now confirmed by the line, I may never know the reason. It's pointless to try to define this ending because it's natural. Her orbit has completed its cycle. There's no need to waste her energy, but she does anyway, for the mind loves to search for an answer. You know, why else would scientists come up with the science to explain the seasons, even though they come and go every year? December sinks at her lover's ankles. The winter ice thawed, now rendering her now ex-lover a summertime stranger. Time is the arbiter of erosion, especially when it comes to relationships. But Devon, with mementos in her room, memories of completing menial tasks with this person, she just can't shake them. She knew it from the beginning, when she was left with the absence of this love. After another chorus, Devon delivers my favorite bridge of the entire EP. The sky, the sand, the hotel lobby. These are all the things reminding her of this personal catastrophe. Happy things now robed in remembering. It's on her skin and in her body. Dry cough, her love is now a symptom harking back to the sickness. Candy, she wanted to be covered in it during cherry cola, but now she's had way too much. Cinnamon, maybe the taste of the candy, maybe the scent drawing the shape of her lover. More things reminding her, but oddly arranged. Like even taking a cough drop. Small things coax memories into the forefront of her brain. She's gone through hell and back to forget everything about her lover, both her personality and her physical appearance. And now the cycle repeats, almost like she is in a swivel chair, just going round and round, nauseous. She's been building momentum, and now she's ready to release all this strife. She belts and harmonizes. Day by day, it turns to gray, but it never goes away. This love is losing its color, becoming less vivid, but it stays in the background. An invisible eyelash you can't quite remove. Even in the outro, she mimics the sentiment with one last incomplete thought. On my skin and in my body. In the last song of the EP, Devon has let the dread sink in. She's rolling around in it, but not on purpose. Like a bird running into glass, pains unexpectedly popping up and threatening to wreck her flight pattern, to harm her, pulling her back into remembrance. The intro plainly provides context for the entire song. Everything around her, animals, small tasks, words, is a different kind of haunting. Her grief rearing its head in the most absurd places. I watched When Harry Met Sally for the first time recently, and this kind of grief reminds me of what Harry talks about after his first date post-divorce. He's talking about how the date was going good. Going good is a reach considering this woman just didn't laugh at his blatantly racist joke about not knowing Ethiopia had food. Until they talked about the colleges they went to. His date went to Michigan State, and Harry says he starts having an anxiety attack. Sally says she didn't know Helen, his ex-wife, went to Michigan State. But Harry says she didn't. She went to Northwestern. Oh! But they're both Big Ten schools. How strange the mind is. Finding ways to self-sabotage by making connections where there should be none. Also, I hate Harry. Sally deserved so much better. All this to say, Devon is in a new place. She's moved away from wherever this love occurred. Little by little, she's making progress, and she's grounded herself in this moment, not in the past with her love. The lawn and street are green. Unusually, there's a dog without teeth, rendering this powerful beast and this past love relatively harmless. Metaphorically, this dog looks like her lover, distant in proximity and serving as a source of joy for now. After all, dogs still have claws. There's more than one weapon in this love's arsenal. But Devon isn't worried. She's resigned herself to ride this sorrow out. She's done trying to find refuge, because every moment is covered in this love, leaving her with a chronic headache. She even gets sick of herself, asking, "Can I beat the horse more dead?" She's explained her feelings to herself and other people so many times. She's exhausted, so she goes to sleep, turning the lights off and rolling back the sheets of her bed. But she phrases these like a movie screening, like her sheets are a curtain and her room is a theater playing the same movie over and over. The verse and intro were relatively subdued instrumentally, but the chorus explodes with synthesizers, alluding to the wave of emotion washing over Devon, her migraine coming to haunt her once more. The repeated lyrics are pretty self-explanatory, but the responses reveal how Devon's subconscious pulls her back to this love. It doesn't matter how much Devon tries to ground herself in any given moment. Her love forces her to time travel, putting her in a constant state of dissociation. It's almost as if this love is time itself. It is the seasons. It's her ceiling forever looming over her. Similar to cities and streets, it is hours and hours of construction now empty, gone to waste. Maybe Devon feels foolish for falling and indulging so quickly. So much so that the snare is introduced. It creates the image of Devon walking on a conveyor belt to nowhere, and every strike of the drum is a suspended plate hitting her head, adding to her headache. She says, thinking this is how I ought to pay for it. She's gotten herself into this mess. She has to lay in this bed, but she knows it's gone a little too far. This is addictive pain porn. Pleasurable because she gets to complain, recalling story after story, but it brings no retribution to her situation. It does not make her feel better. It's comparable to screaming at the rain pouring, yelling at nature, a force which refuses to give you a response. She's trying to play tough, but immediately she drops this facade. What's one more day I don't see the sun? This speaks to the depression she's in. But we can also view love, the action, and the concept as that star, capable of bringing warmth and pain. She's become heliophobic. She's afraid to get sunburnt again. The situation seems unresolved though. Devon has the potential to keep her lover waiting up one more year if she wanted. She only needs one more sign, no matter how small, to hold on to this love. There's the potential, the threat, for them to see each other again. But no matter how many times they do, it's never enough. Never the same. Now Devon launches into scenarios where she's seen the phantom of her lover. On the TV, on the couch, and then more abstract places. Every movement, every sound. She puts her head in her hands and it speaks volumes. What have I done? She's finally revealed she was the one to end the relationship, but not before making her partner unfairly bend. Devon forced her partner to change, capitalizing on the insecurity she discovered in Skittles, all while knowing she had to run away, to change. I guess our beloved artist is not the victim after all. Now, every summer, the season they met, reminds Devon of what she willfully lost. She sees her in the moon too, now a ghost in the sky. And now she sees her in all her lovers, in their body language, in their interests, maybe even in some of their features. I bet every so often Devon superimposes her lover's face over her new ones. This is the ultimate horror. The chorus explodes with another wave of sorrow, but Devon begins coasting on a shore of regret, praying this will end. She may not even believe in God, but this pain is so great. She reaches out to the spiritual realm, hoping for some form of intervention. She wants to do it all over, correcting her mistakes, restraining herself, but it's too late. Her lover is all over. She plays with the syntax and connotation here. Their relationship is done, but she's also all over in the sense that she occupies every aspect of Devon's waking existence. Lesbians do it different, I guess. I love you, lesbians. Love you. The outro blooms and contracts with Devon singing "On My Skin and In My Body." Echoes of Never Goes Away. Her migraine is back at it. But if you listen closely, you can hear giggling and the sound of car keys being grabbed. It seems Devon is going on another road trip, with a new lover this time, bound to repeat this cycle. Much like how the listener could put this entire EP on repeat. After all, it's only 15 minutes. You tell yourself, I'm young, I have the time. How bad could this be? Then, with one last nod to Never Goes Away, the song and the EP ends. I hope she got insurance before she left. I hope you enjoyed this analysis as much as I did. In college, I was a music journalist for our radio station, and analyzing lyrics is one of the many things that brings me joy. So thank you for watching and letting me share this passion with you. I'll be doing many more videos like this in the future, so stay tuned. And don't forget, you should definitely listen to this EP. I can't wait to see how Devon's music evolves, and I hope I can see her live soon. Last thing, remember y'all, keep your heart soft, but your mind strong. I'll see you soon.